What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a look at Absolute Zero by SansMinds. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can check it out. But the short of it is that this is a device that allows you to permanently, well, not permanent, semi-permanently freeze objects. So, pretty cool concept here. So what you get in the box, and I'll kind of explain what's happening here in a second. So you're going to get the device that you use to be able to freeze things. And this is the actual cap. So they show you a way to hack it. So it's a little easier to use. And then this piece is a key that you can actually use to tighten or untighten. So it basically determines how much pressure is coming out of the unit to help you, because you want like a little bit of liquid, not just it's spraying out. So I'm going to do a quick demo here for you just so you can see it. So I'll pull this out, and before we get into the demo here, just to show you the unit. These are flesh colored because the whole point of this is that you're supposed to hold the gimmick kind of in tenkai palm, and then that way you can hide it. So if you know, this is towards me, but if your audience was looking, they would just see the back of your hand. They would not see this piece. So you definitely need to get comfortable with this. It's a little small for my hands. So what I have to do is put it against this knuckle, and then it actually rests in there pretty good. So what happens is you squeeze these, and then it'll spray. So I'm going to do this kind of off camera with a couple of things just so that you can hear, or actually I'll do it on camera so you can hear what it sounds like. And then hopefully I can focus on this. So with the so you do have to blow on it. With the silver coins, now my camera's picking up a little bit of the frost here, but it's a little harder to see on silver coins. And sorry, I just happen to have foreign currency laying around. These are Canadian coins. Don't know why I have them. But if you spray closer to the unit, or closer to the coin, I should say, you get a little bit better effect. And I'm going to see if I can focus, but hopefully you can see that frost there. And now you can really see it, if I can focus for you. And then I've actually found that it works a little bit better on currency, paper currency, because when you spray it, it just kind of leaves the wetness there. So it looks like it picked that up pretty good so that you can see the frosting effect. So on currency, I feel like you have a little bit more time to get off the effect. So you definitely need to play with it. Now, with the hack, and I know this, this looks all ghetto and homemade, right? But basically what happens is the way the unit comes is this piece actually goes down through and then comes out the bottom. So if you can see that hole there. And the hack is that, so if you have it coming out of the bottom, when you're going to spray, you basically have to try and account for it being lower than the unit. And the hack is you take the cord out, and then you basically prop it up with some electrical tape so that it's pretty much in the center of your palm. So it's easier to control because you're supposed to be doing this without looking. So it's a little bit easier to control it. And this hack is not something that I came up with. This is actually a part of the instructional video from SansMinds to show you how to use it a little bit easier. So, wow, that was a long time, but hopefully that demo helped you out. And as always, let's start with the negatives. Really, the only negative that I have with this thing is the sound. And I mean, it's hard to mask the sound, but this is in a quiet environment. So if you're going to do this for kind of like a private audience, it's better to try and do this on the offbeat away from them and set it up. The problem is that with the coins, the longest that I've been able to have them sit there before I used it is probably about like 5 to 10 seconds. With the bill though, I've been up to about probably 15, 20 seconds. You could probably even go longer than that because it almost soaks into the paper. And then the cool thing is, so this is after a very short amount of time, you can't tell that anything was ever there. So it freezes up and then it goes away. So really the only negative is just that sound. But if you're working where you're walking around or, doing audiences, that kind of thing, where there's a lot of background noise, white noise, you honestly probably will not hear it at all. So that said, with the positives, this thing can basically freeze anything. And if you're wondering how to fill it, it does come with adapters. So basically you have to get, this is an air duster. So they did warn that if you're in Japan, that the, I guess, brand of air duster that you have there has some sort of safety feature in the can, and they cannot be used. So you'll have to order it from elsewhere. Otherwise, it comes with this adapter. They provide 2 of them. Hopefully you can see that. I'm trying to focus for you. But basically they provide 2. I just left them together. But you put that on top of the can, and then this fills from the bottom. So there's a piece there in the bottom, and then this just goes in there and fills. I would like to see kind of a gauge of how much liquid is in there. That would be nice, because basically you just have to fill it until it starts spraying all over you, and then you know it's full. So that would be cool. But you can freeze. I've done coins, paper, other objects, just because I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. So essentially you might say, well, this thing is pretty expensive, why can't I just buy an air duster can? Well, you can see the size difference. So being able to conceal this, and they made it so that it doesn't drip on you, so because this stuff is extremely cold when it comes out. So that's a note, that when you're spraying this thing, try not to get it on your hand. I don't know if it's like dangerous or toxic. They also say that you have to be over the legal age in your country for this. But when I got it on my hand, it actually was like super cold, almost to the point of burning. So just be careful with how you're spraying it. The effect, like I said, it's pretty cool. And then one thing that's awesome is after it's done, the objects will be super cold. So that way it gives off that realism. So the way that they kind of phrase it is that his favorite superhero is Elsa, and he enjoys the superpower that she has to be able to freeze things. And I think that's a great segue into this ability. So you can actually have them blow on it, and basically gimmick one side of the coin, have them blow on it, and they'll see that nothing happens. You can turn it over, then you blow on it, and they'll see it freeze over. So definitely it's going to take a lot of practice to figure out what your comfort zone is as far as like what these coins need, because different coins seem to take varying levels of liquid, and then their freezing points are also going to be different. So definitely play around with them, and then just be consistent with it. So if in your area a lot of people are going to have quarters or whatever, just figure that out, and then you can adjust the spray on this, and then just do that, so that way when you're walking around you have a consistent experience. As far as angle sensitivity, like I said, you are holding this, but it is small. I have kind of large hands, but you can see how small this is in my hand. So when you pull it out, again, you're going to have it in a Tenkai palm kind of position. So you could have the coin in your hand, and then, put your other hand over like you're doing something magical, and then you'll be done. Either that, or you can, spray it and then away from them, and then bring it in. To get rid of this, like I said, it's pretty small. So then on the offbeat, when you hit it, you're looking at everybody's attention is here. Now it's back in your pocket. They show you various methods of ditching. So if you watch the video, they give you a couple of concepts, but honestly, to me, the best way would be to just put it in your pocket while everybody's looking at everything else. So the instruction provided is great. They give you some alternative methods, things to think about, safety concerns. Like I said, they provide this hack. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about it. It definitely works. It's super cool. It's a little expensive, but to me, I've never seen anything like it. So it's super cool. As far as walking around or parley, I think this is for both, but walking around, this would be a great thing to just walk around and just blow the minds of people. The only problem is that it's not easy to refill this thing on the go. So you'd have to have a backpack with an air duster or whatever. As far as performances that you get out of it, I've been able to do probably like 3 to 5 objects before I feel like I need to refill it, because it starts sounding like it's low and nothing's coming out. So just kind of gauge that. The less you use, the more performances you'll get. So as you get better with it, you won't be using as much, right? So you should be good there. And then as far as my rating, I definitely give this 5 stars, because this is just something that, it's a concept that's super cool. It's something that you can do very easily. You can definitely disguise this, and you can blow people's minds, and I've never seen anything like it. So I definitely recommend this one if you're looking for something super cool to add to your set. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below, and I will get back to you as quick as humanly possible. And yeah, this has been your look at Absolute Zero by SansMinds. All right, see ya.
Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right.